everyone, I'm Bob and welcome to Modern Life for the 70s Mind. If you've watched my videos, you know I always kind of start them out with something kind of fun, something maybe old or vintage that kind of goes back to the 70s. This is going to be a little different. I think this is such a, at least in my life, such an important song that I'm just going to go straight to the song. We're not even going to mess around with other things. So this whole thing is going to be dedicated to one song and that's it. It's from one of my favorite bands from the 70s. And in my eyes, an anthem to what music should be for looking back at that era. And that's Deep Purple's Smoke on the Water. Without a doubt, one of the best rock and roll songs ever made. And in my opinion, probably one of the best albums ever made. I actually have the album right there. I didn't just put that up for this video. It's actually one of my favorite all-time albums. And I know, a shout out to my brother, Tom. I know it's probably one of his favorite as well. So, Tom, this one's for you, bro. With this album, it was kind of like the grand slam of purchases for me. I know I had it on vinyl when it first came out. I had it on 8-track twice. For a reason probably everybody knows. The first one I had got eaten up. I don't remember if the second one did or not, but I know eventually I switched over to cassette tape when those came out, and then I even bought it on DVD. So I had everything, and even today I have it MP3 and streaming. So basically every format ever made that this album came out in, I had it. I was never going to be without my machine head. I've definitely heard live recordings from them, specifically the Made in Japan album, which was amazing. I've never seen them live, whether actually in person or on video. Made in Japan was an amazing album. In fact, what to me, in my mind, makes it kind of unique, that I think some of the live versions on that album were actually better than the studio versions. And that, I don't get that feeling too often. But with this particular band on that particular album, I think the sound that came out of like a live recording back in the 70s just enhanced the music so much. So I'm looking forward to seeing them play. I hope you guys haven't seen it so we can go over this together. So let me get set up and I will be right back. How's that for quick? All right, I am looking forward to this. Like I said, I've never seen a live video of theirs. I was never really into going to YouTube and checking out concert videos. But since I've started doing these reaction videos, I've kind of looked around and see what's out there. And I've held off on watching a lot of these because I keep thinking that's going to be a future reaction video. So why don't we get into it? This is from 1973, I believe, which means they were right in their heyday. And they are singing Smoke on the Water. Deep Purple. That's Ian Gillan right there. So let's see how this goes.
Smoke on the walls of this one.
Great music.
Come on, man.
That's different. The only live version of this song that I've heard is off of Made in Japan. The intro on that album is a little different than this, but what makes this one unique, Ritchie Blackmore actually starts off in a different key, and then kicks up to where it's supposed to be, I guess. Let's hear that again. Let's see. Let's try this. That's kind of cool. Dude.
You know, we all came out to Montreal.
Did you hear? Did you see him doing this? Obviously, he was having problems hearing the monitors, and he was trying to signal to his engineer. Just before that, his voice did. Um, it sounded like there was no vocal. I don't know if wasn't singing it. I couldn't really tell, or that his volume got cut off for a brief second. But even though he was obviously having some issues with hearing the monitor, thus hearing himself sing, he's pulling out some pretty sweet vocals here for live. Let's go back just a little bit, and I'll try to stop interrupting so much. Ian Gillan's pulling off some pretty sweet dance moves there. He hadn't moved for the whole song so far. Suddenly he pulls out these little dance moves. I'm pretty sure Napoleon Dynamite would be pretty proud of him on those. About this song, I grew up, and maybe like you, I don't know. I know a lot of my friends thought this. We grew up thinking this song was about, I have to say it, about a bong. If you just look at the chorus, I can see where that would be a line of reasoning for that. If you listen to the whole song, including the verses, it's pretty clear it's about a casino burning down, which brings me to tears because I'm a big casino guy. I love going to Vegas. Do you guys go? We try to stay, or my favorite casino is the Cosmopolitan. Their selection of slot machines is crazy. And we just came back, if you go and you're into sports gambling, go downtown Vegas and check out Circa. An amazing sports gambling section. If you think of something really big and then multiply that by 3, and that's probably what you're looking at. Probably the biggest screens that I have ever seen in my life. It's a fun, well laid out, amazing casino. I just like staying on a strip. But anyways, that's enough of that. The song obviously is about, and he says it right from the very beginning of the song, that they were, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right, in Montreux. I know that's in Sweden, and it is right off of Lake Geneva. And apparently there was a casino there. And they were there to actually record, and you can't see it, maybe you can, yeah. They were there to record Machine Head. And like he says in the song, somebody took a flare gun, shot it up at the ceiling, and ended up burning the casino down. Since I found out the real meaning of this, I wonder if the guy ever got busted for doing that, or if he ever came forward. If he didn't, I would hope that after the statute of limitations ran out, that he would have fessed up and say, hey, it was me, because he's got a great rock and roll song. Probably one of the best rock and roll songs that talks about him. So that's kind of fun. I don't know the history of it. I'll have to research that a little bit. Anyways, great start. I like it. It's really a classic 70s setting, which I just love. Let's keep going.
You know, they burned down the gambling house and died with an awful sound. A funky clock was running in and out. He was pulling kids out the crowd. When it all was over, had to find another place.
do you feel the 70s vibe coming off here? Ian's starting to show off his vocals a little bit more. After that first verse, he didn't really push anything. This time, he obviously is starting to show some of his talents. I know he's probably underrated as far as his vocals. The guy's just amazing, and I'm not sure he always gets the credit he deserves. Some of that might be because he had to compete against some serious talent in that band. For example, you got John Lord on the keyboards, and you got Ritchie Blackmore on the guitar. How do you compete against that? So one person kind of outshines the other. So depending upon what part of the band you listen to, whether it be the vocals or the drums or the keyboard or the guitar, that's probably who you're going to think is the best person in the band. And it's that extreme talent that they had is probably what made this band just so great. So let's keep going. If you watch some of my videos, you know, for some reason, I think screaming is, if it's used properly, is such an enhancement to a song. Everything going on there is nuts. You got John Lord bending down on his keyboard, almost like looks like he's making out with the keyboard. You got Ritchie Blackmore bouncing his head around like he's trying to break his neck, and you got Ian Gillan basically trying to force his vocal cords out through his throat. This is rock and roll, period. I think that this section really highlighted, if I had to choose one, John Lord on the keyboard. He was one of the founding members of the band, and I wonder often who had the bigger influence as far as the instrumental side, if it was Lord or Blackmore. Since the two didn't get along, if I say one or the other, depending upon what team you play for, whether you're on the John Lord team or Ritchie Blackmore team, I think as a band, I think John Lord and his keyboards kind of made the band what it is. It's just a sound that not a lot of bands had. There were some, like you had the Doors with Light My Fire. That was heavy on the keyboards. Grand Funk, I know later on, got pretty heavy in the keyboards. Then you had like Procol Harum, Whiter Shade of Pale, and stuff like that. But it's nice seeing Ian showing off his voice a little bit here. So let's keep going. I'm loving it. It looks like we're getting near the end. That's not good. Whoa. That's awesome. I gotta be honest, I'm feeling a little bit ripped off on this version because, and I don't know if it was cut out or if it just didn't look like it was cut out. I would have loved to see more of a guitar solo by Blackmore. I just feel that would have made it a little better. I liked it. Do have to, and I haven't mentioned him yet. You got Nick on the bass and Ian, not Ian, crud. I forget the drummer's name, but both of them are also wonderful in the band. And like I said, that's really what made this band as good as they are. A lot of sound coming out for just a four-man band. You got the drums, the keyboard, the guitar, and the bass. I guess there's bands that had less. Now that I think about it, you have ZZ Top and Rush. Rush is a perfect example. Oh, look how much sound came out of those bands. It was amazing. Looking back at this, people, we were really cool in the 70s. Concert settings like this are just non-existent anymore. You just don't see it. Bottom line, this right here is what rock and roll was about. Rock and roll was about in the 70s. So awesome video. I really liked it. Like I said, the only thing that left me a little disappointed, I would have liked to see more guitar. But all right, let me get my act together here, and I'll conclude it in just a second. Okay, guys, welcome back. One of the things I forgot to mention, and I want to mention it now, and that is the crowd shots. The crowd shots were really fun to look at. I got to be honest, I was looking through, every time they would flash to the crowd, I'd be looking at it and say, which one looks like me? And I did see one guy that had my hairstyle, probably the same type of t-shirt I would have worn. I'm a big t-shirt guy, as you probably figured out. And but the look and the feel from everything, from like the way that people were dressed, just the layout of the stage, the layout of the chairs, everything was just textbook 70s. And it really, as far as a historical piece, it really gives you a good idea what things were like back then. This will always be probably my 70s anthem. Like me and probably a lot of other people, if you learn to play guitar, what was the first thing you learned to play on guitar? Was the intro to Smoke on the Water. It's probably the best riff in rock and roll. I don't know of anything that would have been better than that. This band is packed with talent. It was fun to watch. The music is raw. And like I said, we were really cool back then. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed it as much as me. If you can, please like the video below. And please subscribe to my channel. I'm pretty new here, so I'm just trying to get some people to follow me and have some interest in the things I'm trying to do here. And if you can't even be better than that, you can share the video with your friends. Anyways, guys, thanks. This was a lot of fun. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.